We're still working through our willow trees, just got to 39 farming, not too bad. This is all going to be really helpful for herblore as well, obviously the herb side of things, but we need to get our farming up so we can do the better herbs. In our previous episode, I did some more in-detailed math for the clue scroll grind, but the TLDR is that we get 1 clue scroll roughly every hour, and 1 in 4 clue scrolls are completable steps for us. So on average, it's going to be 4 hours for every good clue. We're starting off this grind with 1 clue scroll that I've held from Hellhounds for a long time. If we run about average luck, we're looking at a 20-hour or so grind here at the Jellies. I suppose, let's get to it. And we're back. What's cool is, now that we have a longer range, we can actually do them here rather than having to lure them all the way back to this spot with the knives. So hopefully kills are going to be faster on a bunch of reasons, because we're going to have better DPS with the rune crossbow, but also better trapping spots for all these jellies. Bro, I'm hitting 19s with this thing. I'm an absolute war machine now. This is amazing. First clue acquired. How many did it take? 114. Unfortunately, it is a digging clue and the wizards pop out, so we can't do those. It's a waste. Ew, second clue that we've got, and it's usable. So that means we are 2 out of 6 with our clues. I'm just going to juggle the original and start stacking them down here. The previous one that I had has already vanished because it's been over an hour since. But yeah, fantastic to see. Always good to get those ratios on your side. Means that it doesn't feel like a wasted clue whenever you pick it up. Amazing. 2 out of 6. Next clue is coordinates. What? It's a drop. No clue. This time it's a level 17. Now we can wear black dragon hide armor, which is what we're hoping to get from our 1 clue scroll. If not, we're going into the fight caves like this. As we slowly creep closer to our goal of unlocking a hard casket, I figured I'd do a tier list of items that we can expect, or at least hope, to get out of this clue. Starting with our F tier, these are things that have absolutely no impact on the account. I literally can't use any of these items for anything. We have firelighters. Every time you open a hard clue scroll, there's an 18.45% chance of getting these. They're useless. Ancient pages, usually quite good for an Iron Man, but actually not good for us because we can't complete Horror from the Deep. There's an 18.46% chance of us getting an ancient page, which is pointless. There's also an 18.46% chance of us getting a teleport or jewelry scroll. These are all pointless. Towards the top end of the F tier, we have 24 different options for cosmetics or ornament kits. These, of course, are pointless, but at least we can look cool in them. And we have a 7.06% chance of getting any cosmetic. And at the top of the F tier, we do have the Master Clue Scroll. There's a very high likelihood that the step is pointless for me because there are human interactions all over the place. But even on the off chance that this is a step I could do within a Master, it's going to be so far in the future for us to ever even dream of doing a Master Clue on the account. Heading into our C tier, these are basically pointless rolls for us, but they have at least some benefit to the account. There's a 36.9% chance of us getting either lobster or shark. There's a 24.91% chance that we roll coins. There are 10 different regular rune items that we can roll that all have an 18.45% chance. So on average, you're going to get over 1 piece of rune in a hard clue. There's a 3.07% chance of us getting trimmed rune, which I may still end up alking, but will be at least a cosmetic upgrade. There's gilded, which would be absolutely insane. Just a 0.15% chance of getting any of those pieces. Again, a flex for the account, but nothing outside of that. There's a 6.15% chance of us getting any Rune H equipment. And then at the top of C tier, with a 1.23% chance, we have potions. I think anti-fires are probably the best roll I could get, but also some super restores would be fine. And then there's also a 55.35% chance of us getting one of the rune rolls in our clue. And at the very least, that can save me a few minutes trying to farm them at necromancers. Heading into our B tier then, we have some fairly meaningful upgrades, starting off with Stoles and Croziers. I actually won't get any use out of these until I get to 60 prayer, but it's something that I could theoretically do, and these do count as god items, which will help out in God Wars, and could provide some prayer bonus to me. There's a 1.84% chance that we get either a Stole or a Crozier. There's a 0.92% chance that we get an enchanted piece. I believe these have the same stats as Mystic, I might have to double check that, but I suppose that's an immediate upgrade to our current mage setup. And then there's a 24.91% chance that we get purple sweets in our clue. Heading into the A tier then, this is where things get really, really juicy. I'm getting excited just thinking about these potential hits. There's a 2.46% chance that we can get either trimmed red or blue dragon hide, being immediate upgrades to our current green D-hide chaps and vambraces, and obviously we currently don't have any dragon hide body. We have a decent shot at getting a magic shortbow, an 18.45% chance from our clue. There's a 0.31% chance of us getting an Amulet of Glory T. That would be an immediate amulet upgrade because we have nothing useful right now. It would be an awesome cosmetic to have. And it might save me doing some Hunter. I think I eventually will have to get around to that, but I've been putting it off for a little bit. Then towards the top of the A tier, we have 30 different God Rune item drops, giving us a total of 9.21% chance to get any of these pieces. Again, these are going to be really handy. Having some God Wars protection is awesome. Even stuff like Saradomin protection is hard on this account. I can't just grab monk robes from the monastery because that involves a human conversation. So literally any god piece is good for me. And then there's the 5.54% chance that we roll a blessing. These obviously trump the rune equipment because these are perfect in the ammo slot whenever I'm doing melee. They provide prayer bonus and can also provide some god item. And then we come to the S tier. The only items within that S tier that are actually reasonable percent chances of us hitting are the Black D-Hide body and chaps, each of which having an 18.45%, meaning that we have a 36.9% chance to get either a Black D-Hide upgrade in the body or the chaps. Then we have the God Shield as well as any of the God Dragonhide. Because there are 36 potential drops here, even though each individual piece is a 0.31% chance, we actually have a 9.52% chance of getting any of these god pieces. And again, all of these have the equivalent stats to the Black Dragon Hide, but they also provide prayer bonus. There'd be an instant upgrade into the fight caves, and they'd have applications going into God Wards later down the line as well. We'd be absolutely dreaming if we get any of those. Specifically, if we get that God Coif or Boots, or a God Shield. Those would be the absolute best hits, I think. Because if we ever want to do hard clue scrolls again, when our account is much more developed and I can do this at a much faster rate, getting those Black D-Hide pieces should be a little bit easier later down the line. And then finally we have the real dreamer scenarios, the 0.31% chance of us getting a Robin Hood hat, and the 0.03% chance of us rolling any of the Third Age equipment. Let's be honest, those aren't going to ever come up, but it's cool to dream. The real takeaway and why I think it's reasonable to complete just one clue scroll to try and get something is that the combined probability of either of the Black D-Hide pieces, the God D-Hide, the tiny slither of hope for the Robin Hood or the Third Age, as well as the Amulet of Glory and Trim D-Hide options, we actually have a 49.503% chance of rolling something that can give us an immediate range upgrade. That could help us in the fight caves. And then as you can see, based on the tier list, lots of other hits that we can have here. On average, you have 5 rolls at a casket. I'm really crossing my fingers for the Black D-Hide. That's our most likely chance of getting something good, but I'd also be screaming if we get God Hide. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's get back to some jellies. Another clue. Can we complete it? No, it's Cecilia. Whoops. That did not take too long. Hate to see it. Coordinates. Another one for the bin. Starting off a new day straight away with a scroll, which you'd love to see, but unfortunately it's a coordinate, so it's a drop. We move. Could it be? Could it be? Oh, I think that might be good. Got to double check. I've consulted my spreadsheet, and unfortunately it's a cryptic that we have to drop. Sad times. It's the Abyssal Sire, and we don't have fairy rings, so... I think I'll be here for maybe another half hour. Just a short one today. Couple hours. Couple of whiffed clues. It is what it is.
All part of the job. What's going on?
Put my
scroll
to jelly again. That's the third time he's done it. It wasn't even funny the first time.
Why has he done that?
We got a live one. Oh, it's another coordinate. Yeah, hate coordinates. I can't do any of them. I think there's one coordinate I can do. What a waste of my time. Please, please, please. Oh, this is good. This is a good cryptic. Huzzah, we're at 3. We're halfway. Let me make sure. Yes, it is Aggie IC. Phenomenal scenes. Officially halfway. It's glorious. Let's carry on. There's just no way. It's 5 minutes later and we have another clue. Anagrams. No, we can't do anagrams, can we? Let me make sure. Yeah, I can. That's a gnome. Oh my god, we're at 4. Oh, baby. That's amazing. Our luck has turned completely around now. We've been a little bit dry. We're over 700 kills, but now we have 4? This is actually happening. There ain't no way. It's another 5 minutes. Let's have a look. Am I in Disneyland? I'm in Disneyland, yep. It's back to coordinates. Justice at last. Could it be? Could it be the penultimate? No, double agent. Rip. We got a clue. Show me them. Ah, forget it.
Damn it!
Okay, hold on. Judges in session. What is the problem here?
You put my jello again.
Hold up. What's this? Oh my god, yes. Search a crate. That ain't no human. We're at 5. 1 to go. This is our first chance. Our first chance at freedom. Double agent. Never lucky. Just alking, and we hit the 1 mil mark. Yep, we made 1 mil before we found enough for 1 clue scroll. We're just still hunting that final one. We're well over 1,000 kills now. Where are we at? 1,100 kills of the jellies so far. And yeah, that means we've been here for a really good amount of time, over like 17 hours, 18 hours, something like that, just from a ballpoint figure. But we're 1 away. The end's in sight. We're almost there at our last clue. But yeah, seeing a 1 mil cash stack just from these jelly tots are pretty good. Still got 1,500 broad bolts left. These have been absolutely phenomenal the entire time. This could be it. Eleanor. Another chance. Wizard Mizgog. Please, please, I need this to be it. I'm running so low on broad bolts. Do not make me juggle 5 clue scrolls at chickens while I get more feathers, please. No! Double agent, no! Oh my god, you can see 3 minutes later I've got another chance. Please. No!
Okay. Who put my clue scroll in Jello? But seriously, guys, who did this? Seriously, guys, who did this? I need to know who put my clue scroll in Jello, or I'm gonna lose my freaking mind.
Oh my god, another chance. Look, you can see 5 minutes later from the last whiff. No! Ah, look how many are on the ground, for God's sake. We got freaking 3, 6, 7, 8. Not even enough space. 8 on the ground. We have a chance here, boys. We have a chance. BLP! BLP! We're done! We're done, we're done, we're done, we're done. Yes! Let's get juggling. We have it. 6 pieces of the puzzle. Here they are. We got BLP just now. That is a cryptic. We have a lot of cryptics, actually. Cryptics were pretty much our best source of completing clues, but let's see as I just juggle these so I don't panic or miss anything. We've got 6 at 59 minutes. Yeah, perfect. Okay. 1,360 was our total. So that's roughly like 22 hours, I want to say. I think by the end we were getting faster kills than 1 a minute, but we did have to like re-trap all these goofuses all the time. A lot of the time we'd have to run down here. Still, it was either running across from this direction or still dragging them down, having to like retrieve the bolts and come back to this spawn as well. You can see I've tagged the ones that follow me all the way down because not all of them come all the way south, but my goodness. We got spooned with our late game clues overall. 21. How many should we have got over 21 kills? Is it 64 x 21? 1,344. So we're pretty much dead on rate, but a little over rate in terms of how many that we actually could complete versus how many whiffs we had. So not too unfortunate overall, but it's meant that we finish on 76 range. This is also just going to be massive for the Jad fight, to be honest. Even if we whiff from the clue scroll, like I'm not even expecting black D-hide from this point, but all this did really was get our range up to a point where I'm pretty comfortable facing Jad now, even in this gear, but we have so many things that could still improve the account. And I'm really happy that we did, because as you saw, we're getting very low on our broad bolts. We ended on easily over a mil cash stack. I think it was like 1.4 or something, because I also just went and bought a bunch of broad bolts, but obviously don't have the feathers in my bank. So yeah, got a decent amount of cash back as well, which is pretty handy, so I can just get enough broad bolts easily for the Jad fight. I'm going to have to go fight some chickens for a bit to restock on those supplies, but for now, let's juggle this bad boy and get to work. Is this how we enter the fight caves? Or will the casket give us an upgrade? Oh my god. There's no freaking way our first hard clue gets a Robin Hood hat. Bro, armor plate skirt's insane as well. There's just no freaking way. I can't believe this. What an insane way to end an insane challenge. Honestly, it was just a lot of fun, and we were just mostly getting range levels up to make Jad a reasonable prospect, and now we're picking up feathers because there's nothing left to do but fight Jad. Let's get into it. So this is the gear setup we're going to go in with. You'll notice that I've got Blighted Super Restores and Manta Rays. We're going to go into a PvP world, so I have access to these. We got most of these from doing the Wilderness Agility way back when, and the setup, I've got a bunch more broad bolts. We've gone for a couple rune items just to give ourselves some defensive bonus into the healers and just generally tanking when I have to into the meleeers, if I have to run through them while trying to save spot. And then of course we have our range bonus in the green D-hide, Vams, the new Robin Hood hat, which I still can't believe, and the rune crossbow and the broad bolts. I've got a huge chunk of the bolts, but of course I can't always pick up stacks of them if I'm trying to trap, and I'm obviously just going to prioritize my health rather than just having to sit and wait to heal up and everything. You can see that I'm trying to rotation scout here as well, so I've got a couple of minutes till I'm going into the fight caves, but I've also got to hop first so that I'm on that PvP world so I can use my resources. But yeah, this is the setup that we're going with. I'm hoping it's going to be good enough. I've done fight. This is definitely going to be the lowest account in terms of stats that I've ever done a fight cave on. Normally, I'll either just have like much higher range, or sometimes even get my prayer a lot easier just to have a comfier time of things. Definitely not like an elite PVM or anything like that. Still very new to like bossing for the most part. Really haven't got my head around raids just yet, so this is going to be quite the challenge for me, I think. Going to be a fun one, and certainly no guarantee that we're going to win this, even though Jad itself is like not a difficult challenge to fight caves. For anyone who knows, it's pretty much like been majorly outclassed after, you know, it still has the nostalgia element behind it and there's still challenges along the way, but generally if you're competent at the game you should be able to get a fire cape after a few attempts. So that's not much of a challenge, but really it's just that it's uncharted territory for me with this low of a sort of gear setup at the very least. It should make the fight caves pretty long and arduous, which is something I haven't had to go through before. So hoping I can do it on the first try. If not, we don't actually have that many Blighted, so that could be a bit of a hurdle. So really going to try and hope to do it in one. Let's see how we get on.